Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we are going to start this winter wonderland project, and we're going to do this by having two stations. So if you sit at the yellow or the orange table, you will create your background painting first. And if you sit at the red or green table, you will be creating your trees. And then next week we will assemble all of this together, and we'll add the snowflakes and those types of things. So let me show you how we're going to get started. Remember, there's two stations, so you will visit both stations today. So the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to paint your background if you are at the first station, which is yellow and orange table. And the way we're going to do this is I have these bottles of paint, and we are going to put some little dots on our paper, and then we're going to spread it around with a paintbrush. Now, our character word for the month is responsibility, and you guys are little. You guys are my kindergartner and my first grade artist, and I want to teach you how to use these bottles responsibly. The way that we can use these responsibly is to use just a little bit, because you can always add more. But if you get too much paint on your paper, you can't always take it away. So what you're going to do, you open these just like a glue bottle. So the black part stays closed tight, but this part right here, you're going to twist. So I like to hold the black part still, and I twist this part. Now if I do a little bit of squeezing, and I hear it breathing, that means the paint should come out. I'm going to shake the paint to the bottom, and I'm just going to add some little dots of paint. And I want to think about which color do I want to show up the most. So I added a little bit of this blue, and what I may do is go ahead and take my brush and start just spreading the blue around and see how much that spreads. Okay, now you have your messy mat, so you can brush right off your paper onto your messy mat, and I still need some more colors. Okay, so if I want to make this blue darker, I can add darker blue. So let's say I want to add some darker spots. Oh, there we go. Heard it breathing. I think I want my darker spots up at the top. So I'm going to add some dots. Remember, not too many and not too big. I can always add more. And I'm focusing on responsibility. This is great. I can be looking for someone that is showing responsibility with their art supplies. Okay, now look. My blue didn't cover, so I might need to look and say, I need a little dot there. And maybe I need a little dot right here on the edge, but little, because there is paint there. I just need a little bit more. Okay, my paint. Now, if I wanted to make my paint lighter, what color would I use? I hope you said either light blue or white. White is going to make any color lighter. So I'm going to start with some white now, and maybe I want to make, oh, I heard it breathing. Oh, this one's, oh no. Oh, the white one is having trouble here. It's a little watery. All right, so I'm going to add some white. And because this blue is starting to dry, I might need to add some blue. Now, what happens if I accidentally put way too much? Oh my God, ooh, that's way too much. If you do that, put the paint down and just spread that around, okay? So try to spread it to the middle. Don't spread it to the edge, because then it's just going to go off your paper and onto your messy mat. So if I accidentally put too much paint, I have to put the paint down. That's how I can show responsibility. Look at how my white is making that light blue lighter. Okay, so I'm going to paint this around, because surely this is enough paint to finish my painting. All right, again, I just paint all the way to the edge. Look, I'm adding that a little bit lighter. Remember, this is going to be the background for our winter wonderland, so our trees will go on top of this paint next week, and we'll add snow, and it'll be real colorful and really nice. Okay, so this clearly was plenty of paint, because I put that big, huge blob on there. So try not to do a big blob. I wanted to show you that just so you could see what not to do. So think about that. We're not trying to do that. We are trying to add small dots like I did at the beginning. Okay, so I think this color is taking over because I added so much of it, so it will take over. So if you want different colors to show, like here, where you can see purple, dark blue, light blue, really light blue with the white, then you can't add too much paint in any one area, or that color will take over. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little, keep smoothing it. And you notice I did not add purple. I love purple. I really have too much paint on my paper to add purple, so I'm not going to add any purple, because my painting's pretty much done. It's nice and completely painted. So when you're done, you're going to take this to the drying rack, and I will have a timer set so that to make sure that you get to go to both stations. So try to get finished within the time limit. So you'll take this to the drying rack, and then you'll go to the next station. So in your next station, you can just leave your brush at your messy mat, because the next person that swaps with you will need to use the brush too. So your next station, you're going to have a half of a sheet of paper like this. There won't be any paint at your next station. And you are going to take these little strips of tissue paper and cover your entire paper, okay? So if you notice, this person used lots of different colors. So you have to think about what colors you want your trees. This person used just greens and yellows. And so when their trees were cut out, they ended up being green and yellow. Here's another one. They have a light blue, greens, and yellows. This person used more warm colors. So they had pinks and reds and purples and dark blues and light blues. And then again, this person did more of a rainbow, red, orange, yellow, green. So you can create whatever colors you want to on your paper with your tissue paper. And next week, we will cut these, or they may already be cut for you, but we'll cut these to create the trees. Okay, let me see if I can get my glue stick open. Oh, okay. Now, here's the proper way to do this. You want to put glue in a small section. So I'm going to start in a corner. And you can notice my glue is purple. That means it's going to stick. When it starts to turn clear or white, then it won't stick anymore. So you have to work quickly. So I'm going to just start adding tissue paper into my little glued area. Okay? And I think I'm just using all the different colors. All right? Now, if you have a piece that kind of goes on top of another piece, you may have to add a little bit of glue on top of it, just so that it sticks. Okay? And then when I start running out of space, I'm just going to give myself another little section of glue. You'll notice that neither one of these things really takes that much time. Another thing that I want you to be careful of is don't wad this paper up. Don't grab it and wad it up because we want it to be flat. We want our flat squares to show. If you notice that glue is starting to dry, I could tell because it started to get lighter. All right, I'm going to speed this up and finish this, but I do want you to see it finished, and then I will send you to your tables and you can get... So glue on your white paper and stick. Cover your whole paper and be sure that your little pieces are glued down flat. Okay, I'm finished. You can see that my whole paper is covered to the edges, and all of my tissue paper is flat. So if I can shake it, nothing is coming off because I used plenty of glue, and I kind of flattened everything down where it overlapped. I added a little bit of glue on top. Now, you may notice you can see the glue underneath some of these spots. It's okay. It will dry clear, and you won't see it when we're finished. So these also need to go to the drying rack because they have glue, and when you're done, in order to clean up, you will need to pick up these little pieces of paper and put them back in the basket, but be careful not to wad them up. Okay, so don't crunch them up and wad them up. We need them flat. All right, I hope that you guys embrace your learning. You show your responsibility today. And next week, this is all going to come together to create a beautiful winter wonderland. Have fun.